Welcome everyone to your favorite news network, This Month in Anime. I'm your host fddnm. Now let's start off with saying yes. It has been 9 months since I last uploaded, but that's due to a combination of work and literally being incapable of recording videos. However, that is all changing today. Hopefully you will receive at least a monthly video of This Month in Anime, if not a review or two. Reviews take a lot more time to write and edit, but This Month in Anime is something that is much easier to put out. So the first segment I'll introduce is the recap. Now, I'll go over the videos I made for this month, but you know what? This is catch-up month, so we're going to cover everything relevant for the last 9 months. The last 2 videos I put out are Masamune-kun's Revenge, which is about a boy who was fat and turned down by the girl he liked, so he decided to shape up for high school so the girl he used to like could fall in love with him, and then he could turn her down for the ultimate revenge. Then Interviews with Monster Girls, which is basically some totally non-pedo teacher interviewing various monster girls at his high school and helping girls with their problems along the way. Now for the news. News of the last 9 or so months, to be exact. That is noteworthy. Our first amazing story is Turning Me Card has an English dub airing starting May 28th. Isn't that great? Is this the Beyblade creators' next show or something? I think this was an important story because it was an anime airing in English first. Our next story is quite hype. Chaos Child, the incredible anime I've not watched any of, has its visual novel coming to the West. Now we don't even have Chaos Head over here yet, so this is why it's exciting we are going to be getting more of a visual novel hype over here. Yay. No need to wait anymore, I guess. Now for another story that I very much am looking forward to. I'm someone who has never played the .hack games because I sold my PS2 before I became a weeb, and the PS2 played everything horribly anyway, so I wait for the potential digital re-releases of the games, and it appears we have a remaster of .hack GU coming out for the PS4 later this year, which will be great because I can start with my very first ever .hack game. Oh damn, it's already out, and I still haven't picked it up. So much for that. Our next story is the final volume of Hayate Combat Butler's manga is getting extra character relationship revelation. Whatever that means. I think this was noteworthy since Hayate has had quite a bit of manga releases now and the final volume is being released. Our next story is that Dagaki Gai no Home is ending in 6 chapters. Interesting, a show I haven't even started is ending in its manga. I totally cared about that. This just in a few months ago. Mushibugyo, an anime I've never heard of because it's new or I overlooked it, or it just never caught my eye, is ending. Magi is set to end in 4 chapters, which has already happened. Renee's manga is scheduled to end. The Kawaii Complex is scheduled to end. Panda Peace published its final chapter. Now, I think any manga ending is noteworthy, really, because it means there's something out there that is completed in its source material. In particular, though, I care about Renee and the Kawaii Complex. Renee I expect it to end soon, since it's about the amount of volumes Rumiko Takahashi has made for her previous series. So either it was gonna end soon, or it was gonna go way longer than what I was thinking. I haven't watched or read Renee because I'm kind of waiting for the anime to adapt the entire manga. But I love Rumiko Takahashi and her stories, and Renee ending means she gets to start working on a new cool project, and with a new world and set of characters. Then the Kawaii Complex, I enjoyed the anime a good amount for some reason, even though it got nowhere for the most part, but it left some hope. Crunchyroll has the manga digitally, and I was reading up to 50 or 60 chapters, and it felt like not a whole lot of progression happened still, so the manga ending either means the series will start to hustle and progress a lot, or it will disappoint the hell out of me and change my entire opinion on it, because basically the series leads on the hope of Usa-kun getting the girl, but if it does nothing in the end, then it's like nothing happened the entire series. It's still enjoyable, but after a while, the one loud chick who always gets drunk becomes obnoxious and it was annoying. Shield Hero's getting an anime adaptation. Hey, a story that's still in date technically, since it's a show that hasn't aired. Shield Hero I've read 3 or so volumes of and I found it really enjoyable. So I'm glad that it will be spread to the anime-only audience. And the fact I'll be able to watch the series in motion, in color, with voices and music, it just sounds beautiful to me. Fate Grand Order is coming to English land. Oh wait, that's already released and I haven't played it. People were playing this when it was still Japan only, so it's very significant for those who are playing it in Japanese, I guess. Now, the next story comes from Crunchyroll News, who probably stole the article from Anime News Network, who probably stole the article from some obscure corner of the internet. And it's probably actually the most important story of the day. Lupin the Third strikes France in its next anime. I think the significance in this story was that Lupin the Third is getting yet another season? I forget. We want. King's Game will be receiving an anime adaptation this year, and it's already airing and already getting dubbed. So I cared about this because King's Game Origin I read, and it was really good, I thought. Taking some party game and turning it into a psychological horror, it was pretty well written, and seeing the original series getting an adaptation gives me more hope that King's Game Origin will get an adaptation. And I haven't experienced the original anyway, so seeing it in motion would be a nice way to experience it. The other reason I'm happy about this is because the artist of the original King's Game manga made the manga called Okita, which is one of my favorites. So I don't know, through osmosis I'm hoping that the creator of Okita is going to get an adaptation for his manga. Next we have Space Battleship Yamato's original manga being licensed by 7 Seas, proving once again 7 Seas is best girl. Well, maybe not, but it was certainly something I didn't expect. And since the manga is coming over, I'm hoping it will get some licensors onto acquiring the license for the anime again, since it's like $200 for each of the 3 out-of-print box sets currently. But hey, at least we are one step closer to that. And on a somewhat related note, Yamato's new anime is getting Funimation simuldub. I considered importing the subbed sets of the newest Yamato before, but now that it won't cost a fortune and will be dubbed, it's great news to me. And also one step closer to getting more Space Battleship Yamato licensed. And 7 Seas isn't done being best girl yet. They licensed the light novels of True Tenchi Moyo. So yay, we got some more Tenchi stuff coming over here, but it's a light novel, which I don't really care about. But hey, more Tenchi! Now remember when I lied earlier saying that Lupin's story was the most important of the day? Well, Urusei Yatsura Movie 2 was the actual most important story of the day, because Discotek announced it forever ago, but never dropped a release date, despite having released the other things they announced the same day already. Your Name live action was announced a while ago. As of this video, I haven't watched Your Name, and I don't believe in the hype. I probably will enjoy it, but from the Makoto Shinkai. So this next story involves everyone's favorite streaming service, Anime Strike. Garden of Sinners is now streaming on Anime Strike, and this I think is important because before now, the only way to officially watch Garden of Sinners was to pay over $300 for their entire box set. Which I haven't finished watching it. And that was it. So now this provides viewers with an official way to watch it. I was surprised since no one has ever hosted Garden of Sinners on their service before, let alone the entire series. Now to anyone that buys anime, it isn't a surprise that Garden of Sinners is so expensive because it's released by Aniplex. Comparatively, let's look at the other end of the spectrum at Funimation. They have cheap and reasonable prices to buy a complete 12-episode show, which is like $22 to $50-ish, depending on if you get a save edition or not. Then we have Aniplex, who puts a 12-episode show like Madoka Magica into 3 $75 4-episode sets. And then maybe later release a complete set for $120, which is quite a bit for a 12-episode series. I mean, that's like $10 per episode. But now you can watch Garden of Sinners without having to pay that price. I mean, yeah, it's Anime Strike, but it's something. Plus, I'm sure Anime Strike will have some changes in the future if they want to be competitive. But for now, I think it's a step in the right direction, not to mention it's one more series to give Anime Strike any sort of edge in its library over the others. This just in, it seems Anime Strike has made some changes like I predicted, with that being Anime Strike closing. So yay, I guess. Now people won't have that double paywall. And there are lots of people who have Prime already who didn't even get it to watch anime with, so they've already gotten plenty more people watching their anime now. It's been like that in Canada since day one though. I could access most of the Anime Strike titles through regular Amazon Video. Now the US has caught up, I suppose, but yeah, good for Amazon for now. Now for something I feel was only natural. Daisuki.net rotting in hell? I mean shutting down? Daisuki.net had the noble intent of making worldwide streaming, ad-free, high-definition anime streaming. But down the line that seems like it obviously couldn't be sustained, so they added, well, ads, but they had some major problems. One being the fact they had next to no exclusive shows. Majority of their library could be viewed from other official sources as it was, so there was no point in using a service that offered nothing really new over the competitors. They used to have 2 versions of each show listed, I think. One for free members and one for premium members, but I don't know what the difference was. I thought maybe some of the shows like the Gundams had their dubs as the premium videos, but nope. And my biggest problem on top of all that was the fact that becoming a premium member did not get rid of ads. I had a trial membership to test it out, and I still see ads on every damn video. There was seemingly zero reason to get premium for the viewer standpoint. You could tell things were bad when they already had expiries as well. I think they had this one Gundam that expired the year they got it. So great job, Daisuke. And that concludes why I think Daisuke is rightfully gone. And a little fun fact, the Tales of Zestiria Blu-ray was going to have the Daisuke.net logo on it, but look at what's on it. No Daisuke, hooray! I'll briefly mention this next story since I planned a video for this OVA and his first project that hasn't even been finished yet. So, to sum it up, the scumbags at Under the Dog made a follow-up project to their first Under the Dog campaign. It's in the name of helping Under the Dog get closer to the TV animation they are hoping for. But it's definitely not true, because Under the Dog decided, hey, let's make a live-action short and a music video, and to make an Under the Dog extended edition or whatever, and that is the worst possible thing they could have done. Waste valuable resources on something that isn't even the anime itself. The only time fans want a live-action short or a music video is for a pre-established show they already love and care about. But the goddamn source material isn't even stabilized at this point, so why in God's name would anyone care for this garbage? To make things even better, they actually achieved their goal. But judging from the trend of backing, Under the Dog wasn't going to get funded, but last minute they had some larger pledges that happened to just get them over their goal. Wow, that doesn't seem like the company backed themselves to keep all the suckers' money pledged at the time. But the suspicious thing I caught was partway through the campaign before it ended. They said, "We have already started production!" Either they were cocky and thought their bad numbers were actually going to reach their goal, or they had enough money the entire time, but decided to pledge the difference between the backers and the goals so they could keep the extra money. I'll leave it at that for now, but it's absolutely stupid. That's all for the news today. I'm now sending it back to fddnm for the update. Thanks, fddnm. Hi, I'm fddnm. This is your monthly update. Being well, I've been gone for 9 months, and that was already said. Hopefully the update will be more plentiful when I have projects to discuss and videos made that month. So even though it's called This Month in Anime, it's still kind of difficult to manage the time. So ideally I can get this out every month, but chances are that might not happen. So for now, just enjoy what does come out and pray that something comes out monthly. We are currently sitting at 63 subscribers, which is surprising considering I had like 48 subs last time I was active. And Twitter is sitting on the impressive 15 followers. I'm sure moving up in this world, it would seem. Actually, I lied. There is a bit of stuff to say. There's a podcast called the Open Chest Anime Podcast that for months now I've tuned into the chat of. And I'm sorta kinda part of that podcast now, so if you want to catch me sometime live in the chat or whatever, come join the Open Chest Anime Podcast on the Anime Collectors channel. Every second Thursday, 12 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's the current schedule for it anyway. I've already been in one of the podcasts. I'll be sure to link that in the description. The podcast is primarily based around anime collecting with DVDs, and then we watch 2 anime and discuss it on the podcast, so yeah, I'll leave the link in the description for you guys, as well as timestamps for getting to certain segments. That's all for me, back to you, fddnm. Thanks, fddnm. That's all for me, sending it off to you, the anime collector, for the release forecast, which by the way is completely in date.
Thanks, fddnm. Starting out our Right Stuff pre-order forecast of the week of January the 2nd, we've got a very interesting choice here from Funimation in that they are choosing to release Time Travel Girl as DVD only. This, of course, is an interesting choice due to the fact that this show is currently airing on Crunchyroll at 1080p, so we'll see how that affects their sales. Conversely, it looks like Section 23 is making good on their promise to start phasing out DVDs this year, as they will be releasing Kistem R on Blu-ray only. Also on Blu-ray, we've got Ninja Nonsense, which... guys, this says it's in stock.
I guess they got it a month early?
So why is it in the segment?
It still comes out on the 2nd.
Anyway, moving on to January 9th. Viz is releasing the 33rd box set for Naruto Shippuden, a show that they've got the HD source video for, but choose to release on DVD like many shows in the past. Based on their release strategy for Bleach, I'm going to recommend that you go ahead and wait because you'll save a lot of money to just get those Blu-rays. Yamato-kun and the Seven Witches is finally out of limbo and into an actual release date on the 9th, as well as we'll be getting a HD release finally for My Hime and My Otome, and a DVD-only release for the 2008 series Naisho no Tsubomi, which is also in stock, apparently. Moving on to the 16th. Why is the graphics so high?
Hold on.
I don't care. You know what? Looks like we're going to be getting a standard and a limited edition for the Blu-ray DVD combo of Kabaneri the Iron Fortress, and looks like Berserk is getting a similar treatment, although our graphics department has chosen to put the Morose Mononoke in between it for some reason. So you'll be getting that, and the G-Kids release of the DVD and Blu-ray version of The Cat Returns. Also on the 16th, of course, okay, I'm going to need a minute. Can you guys, can you fix this? Okay, can we please just get it right here? Please. Good enough. So also, in the week of the 16th, we've got...
Give me a minute.
Call Augie. I'm done.
I've only done half
I'm
the
done.
segment.
Have him do it.
I'm on. I'm taking over. Hi, my name is Augie. I am from the OCA podcast, and I am here to give you the news and grooves of the releases of January. Continuing where we left off with My Neighbors the Yamatas and The Whisper of the Heart, which contains The Baron. We're finally getting the freedom from Disney and John Lasseter curating as to why you should watch this movie. As you press play from a Disney release, he gives this 20-minute lecture instead of just press play and watch the movie. Up next, we have the latest Sentai limited edition release of Haikyuu Season 2, which might have been delayed due to quality reasons. In any case, though, for all the single ladies who sadly can't afford it, there are standard editions available for this release. Then, on the 23rd of January, mind you, we're finally getting a release of Terraformers, just in time for you to farm raise your own cockroaches to take over the world, learn how to play the board game, and finally write that TV series of Joe's Apartment. Then up next, we have Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright Part 1, along with Typhoon Toradora, which may not be a yaoi based on the cover. Then after that heavy week of releases, we have Napping Princess to follow, which more likely is a Japanese variant of Snow White. Then Tanaka-kun is always listed limited edition and standard editions, which are going to be available, but just to note, he is the master of laziness. And that's it for the month of January. Quite a strong month considering the monster Aniplex isn't releasing anything. That's all for me. Helping you get more broke 1 month at a time, but I'll never tell. Back to you, fddnm.
Thanks for that. Now off to Foodnum for this month's watches. Not sponsored by Movement Watches. Thanks, fddnm. I love you. Now, for what I've been watching within these past 9 months or so, don't worry, it's not actually a whole lot. Back in March, I started Yakitate Japan. I liked it so far, but I think I just lost the momentum after 8 episodes or so. Or I was in a mood for something else, so I tried to pick up Negima, since I liked the original Negima series. Got 10 episodes into that, then haven't gotten around to finishing it so far. I completed watching Gundam Thunderbolt December Sky because I actually got the 4K Blu-ray and wanted to experience 4K anime, which is absolutely beautiful. However, I didn't really enjoy Thunderbolt that much, being literally the only Gundam I have ever completed. It isn't because I was used to the not as serious tones as the other series possibly had, but I straight up didn't feel good throughout the entire OVA, is it? I'll get to the specifics in a review. I watched One Punch Man, liked the shorts better than the show somehow, also prefer Mob Psycho 100 to it. I wrote up a bit for its review, but still gotta finish it. I do have a Mob Psycho review already written though, and I plan to release those back to back. I watched 3 episodes of Okami Kakushi, Mask of the Wolf, I think. Didn't continue because at the time I started my job, so I lost footing on the show and never got back into the groove, I guess. Same thing with the rest of the shows I didn't finish, including And Yet the Town Moves, Outlaw Star, Captain Harlock, even though that's a frickin' movie, and I'm only partway through it, the Monster Musume shorts, and Skip Beat. Actually, Skip Beat I'm holding off till I finish writing my latest review, which I think is already written because of how out of date the script is, but hey, maybe it isn't. And then I finished Umaru-chan, Chivalry of a Failed Knight, Monster Musume, Love Tyrant, Classroom of the Elite, Monthly Girls Nozaki-kun, and of course, Ushio and Tora, the most anticipated show I bought this year. Ushio and Tora is the review I'm forcing myself to finish before finishing Skip Beat, because I care about Ushio and Tora that much. I didn't mention Aho Girl yet because that's a semi-surprise. It's being held off until a certain moment, but yeah, that's all I watched in these 9 months. I sped through what I'm watching just because there's normally not going to be this many shows that I have to go over in an episode of This Month in Anime. In other episodes, I can go more in depth. But yeah, this is the catch-up / introduction episode to the series. Yes, it was long, but it had to be done. So let me know what you think about This Month in Anime in the comments. Thanks to everyone who joined this week. I'll be leaving links to their channels in the description. See you guys later.